cousin's wedding.
God be with you.
What about the crown? Is it finished?
I seem to recall telling you exactly when the crown will be finished. And that time isn't yet. Farewell.
I think it was in the evening. Well, I went to bed in the evening, so... Have to wait until the master... Someone's going early evening on the following day. Well, I just went to bed, so it should be the following day. This is like one of the best perks I have. Nourishment energy stays the same as long as I'm not moving. I think the perk's called contemplative. No need to worry about nourishment being low while sleeping. And I slept to as late as possible.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
What about the crown? Is it finished?
I'm a man of my word. Of course it's finished. Here you have it. Thank the Lord you found that Moldavite. It wouldn't be the same without it. Farewell.
Yeah. I mean, he could have used something cheaper, but if something wants something, I don't do anything half-assed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for Lady Stephanie. Well, Lady Stephanie's cousin. The wedding. Like... I mean, even if you find it, then you can say, I'll deny I have it, you know, you don't have to moldify. I mean, even if you find the guy, you still gotta unlock the chest. Well, it's an easy lock, not a very easy, an easy lock. So, it's not the easiest lock that there is. But even if you do have it, it will still deny you have it. It's only worth 250. It's not that much. Kill 2 bandits and I mean, you have that worth from their armor. Just it's stupid. Summer Bash. Oh, yeah, I love it, they're running because it's raining. I forgot they do that.
Yeah.
There was something on the road. This is a place where you might get ambushed. On this road. No ambush. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Marriott.
Yeah.
I should talk to, what's his name? Black Lucas, I think?
Yeah.
We had to go there anyway. I mean, I had to track down a poacher. That's his house, right over there. Up on the hill. Just mean he's in his house. Okay, where is he? Ah.
Andrew, the innkeeper, sent me. Said you had a job for someone who's good with a bow.
Did he now? That's all very well, but I don't know if you're a man I can trust.
Can I prove my trust to him as
For a
well?
start, you can tell me why a lad like you wants to join us.
Simple. I love to hunt, but I haven't a drop of blue blood in me. So what else can I do?
True. The damn law won't let a man do what's natural. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if you're any good.
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter, bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy.
I mean, my hunting is high enough to get deer antlers. But I'll just go to the huntsman. He has some deer antlers. I mean, he should have some deer antlers. If he doesn't, something's fucked up. Maybe he'll even give it to me for free, you know? I mean, he gave me the quest to dismantle a group of poachers.
Yeah.
The huntsman's home. Yeah, I knew it was on a hill, right outside the village. It's more of a village than a town.
Yeah.
However, I do really like to hunt. I mean, I can always get some deer antlers, but then I first have to find a deer.
God be with you.
I've good news, Master Hunter. I tracked down one of the poachers right here in the village. Excellent. Who is it? Black Lukesh.
I might have known. That fellow has quite a reputation. All bad. And how about the rest of them?
The rest?
Black Lukesh is a ruffian and a thief, but he doesn't have the brains to organize an operation like that.
I don't know about any others so far, but I'm on the scent.
So, keep at it and let me know.
God, really? Maybe there are some new arrows. Mine are 150. Nope. Alright, well, I'll do this some other time then. It wasn't a priority anyway. My priority is helping Lady Stephanie. But you can actually join the poachers by betraying Lukash. Okay. Wait, you can join them but or betray them. Good to know.
Yeah.
You wanna play as a thief or a poacher? That's what I gotta do. Normally I'll just talk to Andrew, but eventually his quests will stop. Eventually he doesn't need any more.
Welcome, Henry. God save. Can I help you with anything?
I brought the wine.
Wonderful, wonderful. No wedding is complete without good wine. Find somewhere here to put it down. I'll send for a servant to bring it later. I hope you had no problems acquiring it.
Let's just say that when I got to the merchant, my task had only just begun.
But you were able to handle it. Thank you so much, Henry.
I brought you the crown from the master engraver.
Henry, you are a gem. Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look like an angel. So, what's next?
What can I do for you, my lady?
I've brought her
Nothing.
everything.
You've done enough. And now I'd like to reward you.
That's not necessary, my lady. You taking the time to see me is reward enough.
Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as with company. And there's something I'd like to give you. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right.
But I can't accept this. It's too valuable.
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me.
I could never forget you, my lady.
Well then, won't you
Please,
try it on at
definitely.
least?
What? Right now?
Why not? Don't worry, I won't look. I'll turn my back.
And what if your husband comes in?
He won't. Neither will anyone else.
All right then.
Take care.
I love hearing the fire. What's the right word I'm looking for?
I feel truly blessed to have you here. So long I yearned for young company. I really feel God heard my prayers and sent you to me.
You ready?
My, you do look handsome. As fine as any gentleman. When I was a little girl, there were always lots of other children around, and young men and women of the court. It was so merry. I always hoped it would be like that when I was grown up too. But it was not God's plan.
You and Sir Divish had no children.
No. No, alas, we were not blessed. Twice I was with child, but they did not live. And now I fear there's no hope for me.
Sir Divish is really old.
My lady.
Fucking a noble woman. Yeah.
Oh, forgive me, my lady. I shouldn't have.
I don't mind.
Sir Divish can have me hung for that. Probably. He's gonna more than just put me in the stocks. He'll have me hanged. Yup, and then we got the alpha male perk. Now, let's see. Yeah, that replaces my Gamerson. However, it's 3 worse for stabbing armor. It's 6 worse for slashing armor. It's 10 worse for bat. And it just looks terrible. Oh wait, I guess just gotta wait a bit. Yeah, you can't see it. It is fancy. These are only kind of boots. Actually, decorated riding boots. It looks okay with the Nobleman red hose. I already have some nice stuff. I'd like to put it on in order. Which one? Yeah, I was using these. Better quality. I mean, I could wear this, but you still wear that in cutscenes. This looks horrible. I'll compare it with my other shirt. I have one decorated nobleman shirt in my chest somewhere. Put on the shirt in front of the lady, in front of Stephanie, or leave? Oh wait, I could have left. I mean, I'm a noble knight. I shouldn't fuck someone else's wife.
Yeah.
I see it's dark, and I mean I do have a bed here. Is that a robot? Yes, he is. Quests, sheep to remove clothing, courtship, sheep in wolf's clothing. Cool. Find the town with poachers. Wait, I should listen to Alina's gossip. Most people are up at 8 and shops should be open at 8, so... Wait, there's a chest there, isn't there? If there is, then I can use that shared chest to compare my shirt versus the new shirt I got. Was her father's shirt? A fancy shirt.
Greetings, Henry.
God save you, Henry.
No chest.
Looking for someone?
What's up? It's one trip to the bathhouse I don't need to have.
Yeah.
It's not outside. But the door's open.
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare. He's the one who's been running amok. I said he'd be back, and I said he'd be vengeful, and I was right both times.
Tell me something about Hannikin Hare.
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. No one rightly knew where from. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son, and so he got the office of Master Huntsman, and Margaret was promised him for his wife. Nobody could have known he was a sorcerer.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well,
There was a woman named Margaret at the Huntsman.
In the forest, right in front of folk.
There was a woman named Margaret.
It said he spoke to animals too, though I don't know the truth of it.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It was natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip. But she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
Nicholas.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipo was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his
Sir Henry.
bare hands. Of course, they
My
found
name is Henry.
But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan's spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, it's quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other thing I want to ask. Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Pretty sure it's pronounced
exists all
boogeyman.
right. but he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon, but Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them?
Very well. I'll ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Tell me something.
Ah, that was all years ago. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman's son.
Well, I should be going. Thanks for the chat.
Not at all. I always like a good chin wag.
Goodbye.
I might be arrested. Oh, no. Good. Blacksmith. The wife of the blacksmith? Betty? She's at the bathhouse. Okay. I was just getting water at the lake.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
You're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumors.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
Stop trying to wriggle out of it. Do you realise who I am?
Not really.
But you know who Radzig Cobbler is, right?
Of course.
I'm his right-hand man, and I'm helping the huntsman catch the poachers. So, I'm not someone you should be messing around.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discovered. So,
I'm not gonna give anyone my
Margaret,
word.
His wife. They say it's all because of her.
A man's only as good as his word, so I'm not gonna give him my
I know full
word.
well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to.
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
You're the first who
Well now.
You were singing a different...
So? Why do you want to know so?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nick...
Oh. I do...
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep...
I don't know what you're up to, but I'll have nothing to do with it. Nobody likes
Reputation lost.
It's not like people don't take you for one already.
What? How dare you? Good luck then.
Oh wait, shit. Shit.
I've got a few questions.
So ask.
What do you make of this pope?
It's clear.
Yeah.
Who's this Hannikin Hare, anyway?
Hannikin Hare? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder, and fled before they could hang him.
Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannikin Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Who should I talk to? I already talked to Margaret if she knew about any poachers. Because when I was leaving the huntsman, I ran into her, so I asked. She said she didn't know anything?
Yeah.
Well, I should talk to, not who I just talked to, but the one before.
Yeah.
Right, there's supposed to be handlers here. Handlers. That was a hit.
God.
Henry! I'm glad you stopped by.
I'd like to ask you about Hannikin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about Hare, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
I'm not saying a word.
Just calm down. Listen, I know the Hare is here, and I know you spoke with him. And if you don't want your husband to find out, you better start talking.
Wait! You can't say something like that to Nicholas. God knows what he'd do.
It's in your hands whether I tell him or not.
All right, all right. What do you want to know?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want it? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. What did you talk about in the woods with Hannikin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannikin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
I'm on the way to Ujitz. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. That's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Maybe I should talk to the husband.
God almighty! Has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes?
The clothes dirty?
I've been hearing some quite wild stories about Hare.
People do prattle on. It happened a long time ago, and I've heard some crazy tales myself.
And what's your version of what happened?
Hare was a stuck-up knob. He came here with nothing to show but his bare arse. But he thought he could have anything he pointed at. All because he was of noble stock.
Whatever became of him?
Oh, you must have heard. He killed one of the armed men that served Sir Henry of Lipa, and they sentenced him to hang. Except he scapered right out of the castle dungeon.
How did he manage that?
Nobody knows, but I'll bet he had help from someone up at the castle.
And what was your wife's role in all this?
He had his eye on her, and she didn't want him. That's all. And it had nothing to do with what happened later.
I heard that he was a sorcerer.
And I've heard there's blooming roses on Rattay Gallows at Christmas. A sorcerer. Bah! Hare was a ruffian, but there was nothing supernatural about it.
That's all I need. Thanks. Farewell.
So, at dawn, wasn't it? It's not too far. And if I do see, you know, some, a deer, I'll take its antlers. I should prefer to take antlers. Still got it. Wayside Shrine. think I'm nearby. Nothing in here. Probably just a poacher's lair then. No poacher. Now I'm really close.
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Alright.
Let me guess. You're gonna tell me you're innocent.
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
Who are you, anyway?
Let me introduce
Hannigan
myself.
Hare.
My name is Hannigan Hare of Zelish.
The noble.
I used to be. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the Master Huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see. That's quite a
Huntsman
transformation.
isn't the gamekeeper.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
You don't need to be rich to be a nobleman.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
Noblemen are allowed to hunt.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg. And the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it, they did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hanish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Ratai to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
What?
Why did you get into a...
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa,
Oh.
and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
She wanted rid of you.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's.
I mean, I jumped over the railing to get out of Talmberg in the beginning of the game.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed to get away.
Well, it's true I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
Should Divish?
So Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
Then why did he come back?
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got
I've got time.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hanakin Hare of Zalush, the eldest son of Sidney of Zalush. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it, they did.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. But back then...
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to...
Your head's still on your...
I'm a... Well...
An interesting story.
I can't complain of boredom. The question is...
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
Man's only as good as his word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Anakin Hare.
Thank you. And if you want to help me, come to the old mine gallery in Broadwoods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.
So you have to infiltrate the poachers. So that's why it's called sheep. Wolf's clothing.
So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Janowitz write me up a parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say, you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No. Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
Medek of Halbeck.
But Sigismund and Medek
How
kidnapped the men they wanted
how
to
about...
bargain.
Yeah.
You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
But that confession's just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish and the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Talmberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
I had Nicholas's prized hunting horn liberated. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize its sound from quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge at dark.
And I meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone?
Of course it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I don't know. What if there's trouble?
That's why I'm sending you. I trust you. But whatever happens, Margaret mustn't be hurt. When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right.
Don't forget, tomorrow at dawn.
I can always knock around. Henry of Lipa. Henry I of Lipa was one of the founders of the noble family, which took its name from the settlement of Lipa. He held various positions of high office at the royal courts, sub-chamberlain, marshal of Bohemia, and provincial head of Bohemia and Moravia simultaneously. In 1415 he was charged with conspiracy for drafting a document against the king and thrown in prison. He was released half a year later thanks to support and pardon nobility and the Dowager Queen, Elizabeth Richeza of Poland, who was his lifelong partner. The situation forced John of Luxembourg to launch a campaign with German troops against the Czech nobility. The conflict came to an end in 1418. He spent his last years of his life in Brno, where he had established his own court. The coat of arms of the Lords of Lipa consists of a cross made of two tree branches. Henry had 3 daughters, Clara, Margaret, and Catherine, and 4 sons, Henry the Iron One, John, Berthold, Huntsman Berthold. He lives in Ratai and Senec. They too all held positions of high office. What about Margaret?
Yeah.
Probably if I arrested him, you know. If I arrested Hanneken Hare, that would probably just be the end of it. Now I got another quest to do. I'm not sure if I believe him. However, Hanneken Hare, Huntsman Nicholas, was in love with Margaret. Maybe he didn't know that Margaret wasn't that interested in, well, even if she wasn't, she would still have to marry him, because he was of noble blood.
Yeah.
Now it's a private area, really? Yeah, that is gonna make it much more difficult. The guardsman is leaving. Okay, no legs, great.
What's that?
I mean, what's his face? Anakin, or hair, for short. He was going to distract him by his, you know, blowing his hunting horn.
What's that? What's going on there? Who's there? What's that? Who's there?
Very easy lock. I can't talk to him.
Henry. Hey, what are you doing?
I can't talk to him. How am I gonna do this? I can't knock her out. Quest log. I can't knock her out. I promise Anakin here I'd help him. This aristocrat, outlaw, and poacher hasn't had the last word yet. I don't know what he has in mind, but I expect the master huntsman and his wife will play leading roles in this part.
Hey, Henry, come. I hope I can. Farewell.
Why is there a guard here?
Hey, you! What are you doing? Fuck off before I lose.
What are you doing here? Are you after something?
I can knock him out. I can knock him out as well. Maybe he'll get out of the knockout. That's why I'm just saving. Cherche la femme. That's French or Czech? A femme would mean female or something, or a woman. Not there. Is it French or something? I mean, I do know that French was a noble language or something. I was right there. I thought it was somewhere else.
Hey, who's there?
When was it? At dawn? I mean, it doesn't make a change for me. Nourishment energy stays the same. So I don't really need to sleep anymore. I mean, I saw it to be used as, you know, reading. You need to study a book. But then I slept and I noticed, oh, hello. Makes it much easier. Ever sleeping is just more convincing. When it's done, when it's getting dark, I'd rather just sleep. But if I'm pretty far away from every single, I don't see the huntsman anywhere.
Hey, you! What are you doing? Fuck off before I lose my temper.
Fuck.
All right, enough.
You've been making trouble and beating people up. This definitely won't.
I won't put up with any more of this. Keep it up.
Starting to think I should have just arrested Hare. I'll just wait 1 hour longer. And then cancel. So I won't have to wait. Because that last hour just takes so goddamn long. Jesus, this is also taking long. But I mean, I couldn't knock her out. I mean, if my stealth was higher, maybe could stealth kill her, or stealth kill the guard. Whoa, what the fuck was with Henry? What the fuck? What the fuck? Jesus.
There? Jesus. What are you doing here?
You won't, because if I don't bring you back with me, Nicholas will be in deep shit.
What are you talking about? What happened?
That man of yours walked right into Hannikin Hare's trap. And if you don't come with me, his neck will be on the block.
Hare won't do anything to him.
Maybe he's not the person you once knew. A couple of years in exile can change a man.
I'll go with you. Just don't.
I've got no cause to hurt you. I want to ask you something, Fro.
Ask away.
Why didn't you tell the truth back then? Hare was with you after the banquet.
I never wanted to marry him. But father insisted
he was.
Hare was of noble descent and his name meant something. That lie was the only way I could get rid of him.
Even though it meant condemning him to die?
Marrying him would have been a living death for me. I loved Nicholas, and I wanted nobody else. Can't you understand?
So he didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, I understand.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't have someone killed.
Do you know who actually did the deed?
No, and I don't think it was ever discovered. Once Hare disappeared, nobody bothered asking any more questions.
Come on, let's go.
Maybe he tripped, I mean... Oh, just appear there? Okay, good. Maybe it's the guard talking to me.
Good work, Henry. Now we have to act fast and sort out Nicholas. Are you alright?
Well, can't say I feel too good about it, but what else can we do?
Believe me, it gives me no pleasure either, but there's no other way. Take this confession. Go to Nicholas and make him sign it before you tell him where Margaret is.
What if he refuses?
You'll have to make him, one way or another.
I'm not complaining, but couldn't you go to him yourself?
Believe me, I'd rather not drag you into it at all. But if Nicholas sees me, he'll go straight for my throat before I get a word in. The only way to avoid bloodshed is if you go.
I see. Yes, you're probably right. And what if he attacks me?
Then of course you'll have to defend yourself. If you knock some sense into him in a duel, all well and good, but don't forget we need him alive. So keep a cool head.
All right. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. get to it.
I'm not gonna
Here's
hit
the
him on the head.
Don't
Unless
forget
it
to
knocks
tell
him
him he
out.
should get the hell out of Talmberg before we take it to the castle.
Where would I find you?
I'll wait for you in the clearing. Be quick. I don't want to keep poor Margaret here any longer than necessary.
I understand.
Oh wow, this is the cave that I found earlier. Huh. I was thinking that's what it was, because I never found that cave before. And I know the woods pretty well. Well, I know it decent. But, I mean, I would think that I would have found it before. Maybe it just, the cave only spawned afterwards. Oh, nice, it's gonna be 20 again. Good. I'm so gonna answer. I mean, before this game came out, there was, you know, a trailer where 2 people were fighting and a couple people were cheering. Oh, this was a different place. Oh, whoops. I was going to the green for the 20. Boo. I was like, wait. This bridge doesn't lead to... Like, wait. So it was a different cave than I found, but no, it was the same. I remember that bridge. The bridge leads, well, if you all took a right, I would still end up in Talmberg, but it's not the point. I really don't feel good about it. I don't like this one bit. But this does mean Hare is innocent. There goes the huntsman.
Have you seen my wife, Margaret? I'm sure something must have happened to her. I can't find her anywhere.
Yes, I've seen her.
Speak, where is she?
Anakin Hare is holding her captive.
How do you know that?
It makes no odds. Just listen to me.
What, you whoreson? Tell me where she is right now, or you'll rue the day.
Bluster all you want, but if you ever want to see Margaret again, you better get a grip on yourself.
Where is she? Tell me!
Yeah, you scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Sign this parchment here, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Can he even write?
I, Nicholas Angel, do hereby confess... conspiracy against Sir Anakin Hare? Just in proper punishment? What? You must be out of your fucking mind! Never!
Listen to me. I've been charged by Anakin Hare to get your confession by any means necessary. If you carry on like this, you'll be signing with your own blood.
Do you think I scare that easy? I'd be signing my own death warrant in any case. So what have I got to lose?
Well, you're wrong. Hare swore to me he'll give you a head start. By the time he takes your confession to Talmberg, you and your Margaret can be long gone.
So, I have your word of honor we'll be allowed to leave.
I swear it.
My word.
Neither Hare nor I will stand in your way.
There. Now tell me where my wife is.
There's an old mine gallery, a little to the south of you. Margaret is in there, alive and well.
I certainly hope so.
I love the decoration on my horse. I love it. Cost quite a bit of money, but the saddle probably costed even more. It's right here. This is the human camp. This is a human camp. Oh. Isn't it? This seems very familiar. And there are 2 chests to unlock in the human camp. Okay, no, I guess just made camp. Ja, he's awake.
So, have you got it?
It's done. He signed it.
Voluntarily?
Yes. More or less.
Well, I'm glad it's been done without bloodshed.
What now? Will you take the
I would have
confession to
knocked him out and brought him
We'll go
here.
together. I need you to bear witness. I've been gone for years, and I'm not sure they'll take my word for anything.
I hope they do believe you, otherwise we're both for the noose.
Don't worry. Divish won't forget our former friendship so easily. Are you ready to go?
Why would he sign the confession though? Like, why would he? Did his conscience get under his skin or something? That he couldn't bear it or something? Say that? But I mean, so he was innocent. Ooh, cutscene. I'll never turn down a good cutscene. And that was short. Oh, it's weird that he's a huntsman, but still wears plate armor pieces. Hunters don't wear that. I mean, any kind of plate armor will jingle a lot, even if you add special padding, which I have the ability to add, because my maintenance is pretty damn high. It was cool that Divish had his hand on a sword. He could draw it immediately. Oh, today now? God damn it. It says completed. Yeah,
Anakin Hare.
that's how you should do it if you're if someone is ranking high above you.
You realize that Sir Henry of Lipa has never repealed his sentence against you. I'm duty-bound to arrest you and turn you over to the Provincia.
Perhaps. But will you read this first? Henry here is my witness that your master huntsman Nicholas signed it himself. This ought to change their minds.
I'm of pretty high standing.
It might.
Pretty well known. I'm known as the hero of Talmberg.
I always trusted you. But your guilt seemed irrefutable. Nicholas was very thorough.
And Nicholas set him up.
His own confession. Captain.
Yes, sir.
Have the Master Huntsman arrested.
That won't be necessary. I don't think they'll find him.
I understand. So, what's to be done with you now?
Spread the word that he's innocent.
Poaching and kidnapping the Master Huntsman's wife. You see my difficulty.
I know. I can't stay here. It's enough to know my name is cleared.
I'll have a letter drawn up to recommend you to the service of Sir Vincent at Vellish Castle.
Thank you, sir.
But if Nicholas has vanished and we're sending you to Vellish, then who's going to be my master hunter here?
I will.
There's one obvious candidate. Henry here. Help me bring Nicholas to justice. And he's no disgrace as a hunter.
Really? What of it, young man?
I think, what's his face? Harris should be the Master Huntsman, but if I now get if I'm now allowed to hunt, that would be great. That is a title.
It would be an honor, sir.
Good, good. Then I hereby name you Master Huntsman at Talmberg Castle. My Chamberlain will tell you more about your new responsibilities.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot that. My job... Oh, Bronze Trophy, Master Huntsman. Nice.
Good luck to you,
I wonder... I really do wonder what my responsibilities now are.
I could never have managed it without you. God willing, we'll meet again one day.
I wonder what my responsibilities are. I know it's dealing with poachers. I mean, I have found many poachers, and whenever I attack them, well, I wouldn't say many poachers. Whenever I found a poacher and I attack them, it's apparently bad behavior. Somehow. But I do know that it's the Master Huntsman's responsibility.
Excellent. You'll take care of it when he comes?
Certainly. Hey. God save.
I hate when it happens that I have to talk to someone
God save
who's in a
Master
restricted area
Here
or
I am.
a private area.
So I see. And what do you want from me?
I'm the new Master Huntsman. I was told to report to you.
Aha, yes, yes. That whole business with Nicholas was, how shall I put it, rather unfortunate. Well, I won't keep you with the lamentations of an old man. Now, to your new duties. You're to supply the castle kitchen with game and protect the woods from poachers. Although, there shouldn't be too many of those now.
No, I expect not. And when shall I start?
Right away. Sir Divish is planning to hold a banquet soon, and he wants venison for it.
All right, I'll get going right away.
By the way, the Master Huntsman should get a hunting bow and appropriate livery. You'll find everything in the lodge, which is also yours for as long as you hold the office.
I see. That's good news.
Yes, yes. Nothing but good news.
That's
Run
an
along.
actual house. Henry the Master Huntsman. Bring red deer meat to the Talmud Chamberlain. Anyway, this video's been 1.5 hours, so I'm gonna end it here and start a new one right away. Oh, wait. Oh. Trailer. I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.